MakingAScene.org brings you building a self-sustaining marketing machine, the AI system that runs your career. Listen, this explainer is for every independent artist out there who feels literally drowning in DIY exhaustion. You know the drill, right? Running on that endless digital hamster wheel, trying to be a full-time creator, a promoter, a manager, and oh yeah, somehow still finding time to actually make music? Well, we're going to prove to you today that there is absolutely a fundamentally better way.
Let's kick things off with a dirty little secret straight from MakingAScene.org. We tell artists today that they need to be an entire marketing department. Write the songs, book the shows, mix the tracks, post the videos, answer the DMs, study the analytics. I mean, the list literally never ends. But let's be real for a second. That is not independence. That is exhaustion wearing a DIY t-shirt. Expecting an artist to do the job of 10 label executives, it's a total trap, and it drains the exact soul you need to be creative in the first place.
So how do we fix this? Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover the exhaustion trap, tools versus systems, your command center, the connected blueprint, the human rule, and finally, how to truly own your career.
Part 1. The exhaustion trap. Escaping the algorithm. We really have to acknowledge the core problem here before we can even try to solve it. The modern industry basically expects you to be a relentless content machine, right? Just begging an algorithm for a tiny scrap of attention. MakingAScene.org sharply contrasts this old platform era with the new artist-owned era. In the platform era, you're just chasing algorithms. You're renting your audience from massive tech companies. And honestly, it's completely exhausting because the rules change every single week. But in the artist-owned era, you build your own self-sustaining machine. You own the relationships with your fans, and you actually systematize all that repetitive work.
Which brings us to part 2. Tools versus real systems, organizing the chaos.
Now, how do we actually build this machine? Well, it all starts by fundamentally changing how we look at our digital tool belts. There's a really crucial distinction here. Look, most artists already use tools. You're probably using ChatGPT, Canva, CapCut, MailChimp, all that good stuff. And that's great, but a pile of disconnected tools is just a junk drawer. And a junk drawer doesn't run your career. A system, on the other hand, is a clear path. A system knows exactly what a fan should do next. It knows that a TikTok view needs to lead to a website visit, which then leads to an email sign-up, which ultimately leads to a much deeper connection.
To really grasp this system, let's translate some of those scary tech terms into plain English. First up, a funnel. Forget all the corporate jargon for a second. A funnel is simply hospitality. It's the path a fan takes from the exact moment they first discover your music all the way to the point where they're providing deeper, direct support. It's really just about welcoming a fan who raised their hand and inviting them into your world step by step. Next up is automation. Now, I know this sounds like robots taking over, but it's actually just a chain reaction. Automation just means a specific trigger, like, say, a fan buying a shirt or joining your mailing list, automatically starts a workflow, like sending a personalized thank you email. It just handles the repetitive chores behind the scenes so you don't have to manually do them every single time. Real lifesaver.
And finally, a CRM, or Customer Relationship Management. Look, this isn't some creepy corporate spy gear. As MakingAScene.org explains, it's simply a respectful, centralized way to remember who your fans are and what they actually care about. If someone bought a ticket to your show in Nashville, you should respectfully remember that. That way, you can tell them the next time you're in Nashville rather than just shouting at everyone on the internet hoping they hear you.
All right, part 3, your website command center. Stop renting land.
With those foundational terms demystified, let's talk about where this entire self-sustaining system actually lives. So the absolute crucial point is this. The music industry has trained you to build your career on rented land. Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, these are not your home. They're highways, they're billboards. You use them for discovery, sure, but your true home base absolutely must be an owned ecosystem. Namely, your website and your email list. That is your command center. Every single highway should route people right back to the house you actually own.
Moving on to part 4, the connected blueprint, the 7 engines.
Now we're ready to look at the exact blueprint laid out by MakingAScene.org. Think of your self-sustaining marketing machine as having 7 connected engines. You've got your website engine as the main hub, the content engine to turn moments into media, the funnel engine to capture relationships, the email engine to build trust, the analytics engine to guide your decisions, the engagement engine to track real interactions, and of course the revenue engine to actually make you money. These 7 engines work together seamlessly to turn fleeting attention into a real sustainable career.
Let's look at how these engines actually talk to each other. For example,
Here's how the funnel engine creates a super powerful chain reaction. Step 1. A fan discovers a clip of yours on socials. Step 2. They're directed to a clean splash page offering something valuable in exchange for their email. Step 3. They get an automated, really hospitable welcome sequence. And Step 4. They're invited to deeper experiences, like a fan passport program or maybe a merch store. Boom. You've just turned a casual scroller into a dedicated supporter.
And look at how AI supercharges the email engine here. AI helps you segment your audience so you're treating fans like actual humans. A Chicago show attendee, they get a specific note about that night. A vinyl buyer gets early access to new merch. An inactive subscriber gets a polite, friendly check-in. You're using AI to draft these variations super fast, making sure you build deep trust instead of just spamming your entire list with generic blasts. It's a total game changer.
When you have this set up, your entire mindset shifts. With the analytics engine running, MakingAscene.org points out that you stop waking up in a total panic asking, what should I post today? Instead, you sit down at your dashboard and you ask, okay, what is the system telling me today? You start making calm, data-driven decisions based on real fan behavior. No more guessing.
Because every workflow has to lead somewhere real, right? This sequence shows how the content and revenue engines turn a single creative moment into repeatable income. Step 1, you upload a raw rehearsal clip. Step 2, AI helps draft captions and an email story about that specific song. Step 3, that content directs fans straight to your own store to buy the track or maybe a related shirt. And Step 4, that purchase automatically triggers a digital reward for the fan. One action, multiple results, absolutely seamless execution.
Part 5. The Human Rule. Keep your artist's soul.
Now, before we get completely lost in the magic of workflows and automation, we really have to address a vital nuance. Using all this tech comes with one massive, non-negotiable rule. AI is an assistant. The artist is the source. Never ever let automation flatten your unique voice into boring corporate oatmeal. Use AI to organize your thoughts, to draft variations, to look for patterns in your data. But you must always protect your authentic human connection. People become fans because of your humanity, not because your email sequences are highly efficient. The machine exists to protect your connection, not replace it.
Finally, Part 6. Own your career. The new middle-class music economy.
When you put all these engines together and run them with real humanity, you're doing so much more than just marketing. You're changing your entire business model. MakingAscene.org emphasizes a massive truth here. AI, algorithms, Web3, they're just tools. True revolution in the music industry comes from direct relationships and artist-controlled systems. Ownership is the revolution. When you own the data, the connection, and the transaction, you are no longer at the mercy of the gatekeepers. Period.
It is time to take back the machine. It's time to stop acting like helpless guests in an industry built entirely on renting out your attention. You need to start acting like a builder, someone with true operational power who dictates exactly how and where their art connects with the world. I'm going to leave you with this really provocative thought, straight from MakingAscene.org. The future does not belong to the platforms, not if artists wake up. A true music middle class is entirely possible. But listen, it won't be handed to you by some algorithm. It is only possible if you take the time to build the infrastructure to receive it. So I have to ask, are you going to keep renting, or are you ready to start building?
Make sure you check out the other great articles and resources on MakingAscene.org, the place the indie artist goes to build the new music industry.